My social anti-socials. My name is Ginsu. Welcome to my personal public diary. So something came to mind today as I was reflecting. I always have random thoughts when I do random things like cleaning my house. So a certain thought came to mind, and just me reflecting on my journey. I was just basically reflecting on my journey as a person, and when it comes to, especially when it comes to careers and or just in general, like purpose, courses I had to do or fulfill. And basically, this diary entry is an extension of the previous diary entry where I was talking about the evolution of the why, and actually me coming to terms with how everything I was doing had to be glorifying God, and my foundation at most had started out wrong. So as I was reflecting further on my journey today, some the words that came to mind were maturity, for emotional maturity and spiritual maturity for purpose and blessings. And to expand on this is looking at the person I was a couple years ago when I first started, like first founded my companies, first had the certain visions, is totally different to the person I am today. I definitely have matured. When I was younger, yes, I was intelligent. Yes, I had some level of wisdom. Yes, like I could execution some things, and I had a lot more energy in me. I had a lot of fight and drive in me. But I was not really mature. I was not emotionally mature. I was not spiritually mature. And for that reason, there are some hurdles that I encountered that led me to be a bit more self-destructive. Because remember, during those times, because those were very early years of my being, I was still coming to being, your early 20s are the ages of being where you are evolving as a person, you're discovering yourself, you're learning a bit more. And so the ideas you had in your early 20s are not the kind of ideas you're going to have in your late 20s, nor even in your 30s and to come forth. So we're constantly evolving. So I was heck loads of immature. I was not mature at all, especially for the blessing and purpose that was vested upon me. And most times it caused a lot of pain in me because, for instance, I would say I was very passionate. I am a very passionate person, but at the time I was combining passion with what can I say, arrogance. Especially if you are a wise person or a knowledgeable person, arrogance can tend to stem in that person. So I was a bit more arrogant, and so the way I would move about things would be in a very egoistic approach instead of the mature, wise way of dealing and handling things. Like my ego was very much untrained. Like I had conversed about the importance of training your ego. My ego was not trained, so it would wild out. It would be out there a lot, and that would literally distract me from my cause of purpose, and derail me a lot. And when your ego wilds out, this is life here. Whatever you do, there's a consequence for it, and I had borne the consequences of me letting my ego to lead me down that road, and it was not nice. But looking at me now, I definitely could, check my younger self and also point out where I'd gone wrong and evolving as a person. So it's very important. I feel like something that's not taught or preached is the importance of maturity, to handle and deal with and execute purpose. Even when it comes to my academics, like I just knew that, yeah, I have to be studying what I'm studying. I knew, like, I couldn't imagine myself doing anything else, but I just knew that that was the road I needed to go. But I had no idea exactly how to go about things like the finish line. What does the finish line look like? What are my specialties going to be like? Like, I just was a bit confused, a bit lost, and I was so mature, and I used to be so scared because I would feel like, what I'm studying and where I'm going to be, it's like such a huge role. Like, I'm not ready for it. I really did feel like I'm not ready. And I would, in combination of, my mental health dragging me back a bit in terms of my academics, I would still need that time. I still needed that time to rest my mind and wait things out a bit until I'm mature. But now I definitely feel a lot ready, a lot mature, and have like a specific vision. I didn't have vision back then. I just knew I was doing things because I'm supposed to do them apparently, and I just knew that this is the route to go, but I just didn't have a vision. But now I have vision, I have a mission, and I know how to go about things. So I definitely grew. I'm in a mature age where I understand things a bit more, consequences, responsibilities, rights, and all these things. The younger me didn't understand that at all. Heck, all I knew is I'm dope. Okay, I'm good at this, and that's what I'm going to be doing, and nobody can tell me because I'm good at this. So spiritual and emotional maturity is very, very important, especially when you're in a position of leadership. Being a founder of a company, being in a position of having a voice, a voice that leads, a voice that touches and changes, having hands that touch and change. Those are very, very important roles. Those are leadership roles. So you have to pretty much have it figured out yourself before you lead other people, else you're going to lead other people into destruction. And the younger me, I didn't have myself figured out. I was coming into being. I was still self-discovering. There's a whole lot of things I needed to train out of me, and a whole lot of things I needed to train into me, essentially shaping me to who I am today and to who I will be tomorrow. That me just needed a whole lot of growing up to happen. And it was terrifying and very scary to still be growing up and still have this big purpose vested on you. It looked too majestic and too terrifying. And it definitely made sense why I had slowed down, or even God slowed me down a bit, to delay me a bit so that I actually come and bloom into being. Because now I understand things a bit more, and I feel like I'm ready to actually lead. A disgruntled person, an unfulfilled person, does not make a good partner, does not make a good leader. You're destructive and all around. So it will be tough for me to actually fulfill the purpose, because I needed to be fulfilled. I needed to be still within. I needed to have found myself and known myself, and actually know or even understand purpose and why, and actually like fixing my foundations before I could lead other people. Because if I'm not satisfied with myself, I don't make a good partner. I need relationships. I don't make I wasn't a good person to work with, like partnerships, relationships, being a team leader. Like a lot of how I moved it back then was a whole lot vested in immaturity than who I am right now. It doesn't mean that I didn't have it in me. It doesn't mean that the purpose was definitely different. No, I definitely had the purpose vested in me, the blessings vested upon me, the wisdom and knowledge. I just hadn't fully bloomed into my right. Therefore, making me quite a ripe person for the role. But I'm glad I had to go through the steps. So I guess this is to say, if you understand, whoever will be listening to me, if you understand that there's a certain role or purpose you have to serve, and you're a bit frustrated about your delays, or you think like things are not happening for you, or you're feeling a bit more scared and not knowing exactly what's the next move, try and check within, like, what are the things that you need to check with yourself and fix. And this does not mean it's not limited to like how you lead people. Literally yourself, your personal fulfillment is very important, because when you calm and quiet the noise within, it becomes a lot easier to listen to the voice above. Quiet within, you'll be able to listen to above. And also quieting yourself inside, you also learn how to silence the outside, the external. Because gifted people cannot deal with a lot of chaos that is a bit stray away from their purpose. Like, our world is filled and polluted with a lot of noise, so you have to have that ability, that skill, to be able to quiet outside, so that you can listen to what you should be listening to, and therefore leading your purpose. Especially because you need to connect with the higher being, high power, and then connect with yourself. And the only time the high power and yourself could be aligned, could be connected, is if you're quiet yourself, and you're also able to quiet outside and not be interrupted by that noise. So do not be frustrated. Well, I cannot tell you not to be frustrated, but I could say do not give up, and understand that that is the process you're going through. There's a reason why there are certain delays. So perhaps look within and figure out how to quiet inside you. Then take the skill of how you learned how to quiet inside you to mute outside. Then connect yourself with the higher power, that which is the one to instruct you what to do, And I tell you, will be well on your way to success. And success looks differently. Try and also like define for yourself, with the help of the high power, the very source of being, like what success looks like. Too very often, success, especially in this world, has like an image that we've been painted and sold to us. Too many riches, too many cars, too many clothes, expensive this, expensive, too many big houses. And let me tell you, success can mean different things for everybody. And it all is in line with the purpose you serve. Your ambition should be aligned with the definition of success as well as your purpose. We're not all meant to, have multiple expensive cars and big houses and whatnot. And you might find that those things actually cramp your purpose. But if you understand your purpose, your environment, and your being, and you can define that without the world view of what success is, you're well on your way to fulfillment, alignment, and yeah. So those are the things I took steps to do for myself as well, like defining these things, connecting with God, and understanding which way to go. And let me tell you, where I'm at right now, having gone through all the things I needed to go through, and who I am today, I am so grateful, because the younger me could never. The younger me could never. But I'm very grateful for the person I am today, and what isn't now vested in me, and I'm now in a position to actually expand and actually be a prim and proper leader in my role that is all actually fulfilled and can lead right and not actually lead to distraction like how I was before. And a whole lot of prevention of casualties was also executed in my delay of attaining what I needed to attain. Because if you're unfulfilled, you take up roles that you shouldn't be taking up when you're not ready, you cause casualties. Could be in romantic relationships, could be friendships, could be in the workplace, business space. If you're not ready, if you're disgruntled, you're not happy with self, you're misaligned, you are going to hurt people or hurt things, or even hurt the very gift you were given. So anyway, that is my diary entry for today. The waiting season is not easy. I'm not going to try and minimize that, but it is very necessary. So if you're in the waiting season, you're a bit confused. The waiting season is actually a transition season. That's what's not told. It's a transition season. So pay attention to what is transitioning, what is transpiring, what is changing, or what needs changing during that waiting season. And once you make it through, you will be a whole different grown person and a bit anointed differently and change differently and touch people and yourself differently. Anyway, that's it for me. Till next time. I'm out. Peace.